an important aspect in terms of the legal side of it is that we're very close to getting basically an opinion in terms of what our coin is, which is a utility coin. Of course, we know it's a utility coin. We fit the perfect description of what a utility coin is, even to the fact that we first had the platform and later came the coin, which is one of the very, very strong tests that the SEC, but I don't want to get into, that side of it. There's enough of that. I just want to say for our coin, it was a big deal. We broke it down, we explained it, so we're getting attorneys to basically write a memorandum for us, an opinion that we are a utility, and that's going to open the door for a few exchanges that everybody's now asking for that classification. And so that's going to definitely open it up and allow us to entertain other exchanges for the coin. I'm sure everybody was aware that the Supreme Court recently ruled that essentially New Jersey took the federal government to court and said, hey, you got to let me run online sports. You're not doing it right now. And they won. The Supreme Court said, yes, you're right, state. We don't have a right to regulate what you guys do. So essentially now it's back to the states. And the states, of course, are always looking for money. So there's 20 states that are rushing to get online sports laws on the books, essentially legalizing them, taxing them. And that opens up a huge door for us. You can see 2 days after that announcement came, Betfair announced the acquisition of FanDuel, and DraftKings has announced a partnership with a land-based Atlantic City casino, which is curiously something that we're also already exploring because of the legality now potentially of online sports gambling. Now in the United States, a multi-billion-dollar market that was basically in the shadows or outside the United States, and now the U.S. is going to be able to have that. So that's a very big movement. We actually had some games that we developed, and I'm going to talk about them a little bit. And initially, I got excited to develop those games, but as we analyzed everything and got close to launching the fantasy platform, the fantasy platform fit perfectly into the legality of the fantasy sports framework. And these other games were really cool games because they were peer-to-peer. And in my opinion, hey, peer-to-peer, there's no book, there's no illegality. But then I consulted with some attorneys and they said, yeah, you might as well just launch the fantasy platform. And I just kept those games under wraps. But now that this law came by, I said, oh, wow, I got these games over there. So we're actually going to incorporate two of those games that are basically Vegas-style betting games where you can just bet on the team. Now, the incredible and beautiful difference of what we did is that rather than right now, basically, if you want to go put some money on a team, you go online and you take, a line, and then the bookmaker or the online sports platform takes the bet no matter what. They're actually taking the risk, and sometimes they take a bath. Casinos take a bath sometimes when a lot of people bet, on some kind of an underdog, and then they take all the action, and then that underdog comes in, boom, they get killed. The money line with Manning when he won not Peyton, but Eli, because I remember I bet that, and the money line came in, and they lost, I don't know if billions or hundreds of millions. Anyway, what we're doing, and I've said it many times, and I'll say it again, we're never going to do anything that's a banked type gambling operation because it scares me. I don't, I love to gamble a little bit, but not huge. And when you're banking bets, you're gambling. So what we came up with, which is actually, the perfect world, I think, is a peer-to-peer type platform. So you're going to see 2 new games in the platform that are going to allow people to bet against each other. And if you don't cover the one side or the other side, then the bet doesn't go through. But if you do, it does go through. So we're not on the hook for either one of those sides, which is what I like. But at the same time, we're bringing a peer-to-peer type betting opportunity. And we're actually going to launch it for the World Cup, which is right around the corner. And it's one of the things I needed to talk about, which is also a huge deal. It might not, we're just going to launch it. So, am I going to have 1 million users? No, but it's going to show what we can do. And we are going to advertise in the 24 World Cup countries. Unfortunately, the United States is not one of them. And some other big countries didn't make it. But the ones that do, everybody knows how crazy the people go. So we're going to be there with advertisement, pulling the people into our games. So that'll be exciting. But going back to the sports betting, we're going to add a module on the website that allows you to basically bet on Team A, Germany versus Italy or whoever. It'll allow you to actually negotiate your own line, which is something that's never been done. Because usually you get the line from Vegas. It's a take it or leave it kind of a proposition. In our case, it's going to be between friends. And sometimes you got to entice your friends a little more and say, you know what? I'm going to give you a couple more points or whatever it is, right? So that's going to be fun. It's exciting. You negotiate through email. So you get the challenge by email. You say, hey, so-and-so wants to challenge you for 1,000 NLC on Spain versus Germany. And you're like, okay, he's giving me a goal. I'm like, no, I'll take 2 goals. So you negotiate, and then you close the bet. So that's a very, very fun thing.